Today's video is sponsored by the team over at MaxiMiners.com. With crypto mining hardware prices at all-time lows, it's important to find a company you can trust for your ASIC purchases. The team at MaxiMiners.com is here to help. Carrying some of my favorite brands like Bitmain, Jasminer, Goldshell, iPolo, WhatsMiner, Ice River, and many more. In the current bear market, every dollar counts. MaxiMiners.com is a great place to start shopping for your next ASIC purchase with their competitive prices. Offering convenient payment methods like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Apple Pay, and Google Pay. Looking to purchase an ASIC miner but can't run it at home? MaxiMiners.com has you covered with hosting in Dubai, Paraguay, Norway, and even the United States. Finally, need your miner ASAP? MaxiMiner.com has you covered with 2 to 4 day shipping right to your home. Go check out MaxiMiners.com today via the link in this video's description down below. This GPU may be 5 years old, but it still kicks ass mining the most profitable crypto in 2024. Why 5 years later is the Radeon 7 still such a good graphics card at GPU mining? Well, we really need to take a look at the top coins right now and the most profitable coins out there. And what do they have in common? Well, most of them are ASIC resistant. Well, what does that have to do with the Radeon 7? Well, the Radeon 7 is very memory intensive. And when you keep that in mind, so are the top 10 algorithms right now for proof of work. And that's exactly why this guy still kicks ass and can contend with some of the best GPUs out there. If you head over to Hashrate.no and you type in your favorite graphics card that you have mining, you're most likely going to see things like AI Power Grid, Clore.AI, 𝐓𝐸𝐴I, �meowcoin, Saytax, 𝐶𝐞𝐳. All of them have really one thing in common. They are all on the 𝐶𝐈 algorithm. Well, what does that mean? Well, just as we talked about a minute ago, the Radeon 7 is so good at memory intensive algorithms. That's exactly where 𝐶𝐈 comes in. All right, the Gigabyte Radeon 7. Man, I still love this GPU. I actually first got turned on to this graphics card on Red Panda Mining's channel, and I've really fallen in love with it. It's slick, it's clean, and still 5 years later looks brand spanking new. So Gigabyte, as we talked about here, one of the things I really like about it is this exoskeleton is not a cheap plastic material. This is a hard aluminum. In addition to that, it takes 2 8-pins right here on the back ass side of it. The R does light up on the card as well as our Radeon up on top. Flipping this around has a slick looking black backplate on the back side of this card. And when you take a look at the I/O, look at that black I/O there. It does have multiple display ports with 1 HDMI. So what do we got going on in today's video? Well, I'm going to go ahead and get this in my test bench. And take a look at this. This is a very simple, small 6-card GPU mining rig. This is great for beginners. It's basic, it's simple, not super expensive, but works really, really well. So in it we have an MSI Z170A. We have an Intel i3 6100T with a nice little thermal take cooler on top there. And then finally an EVGA 650B5. And to top it off, one simple GPU riser. If you guys are interested in building yourselves your first mining rig or something basic and simple like this where you're not breaking the bank, I'll put links to all of these parts down below if you're interested. But we're going to get our Radeon 7 on our test bench, and I'd like to go ahead and show you guys how the Radeon 7 performs on some of the most popular and most profitable GPU mining coins out there today in early 2024. Oh man, even after 5 years, this thing turns out and looks so slick. I don't know what it is. I think it's just that simple look with that bright red on it. Turns out awesome. All right, so we got it on our test bench here. Let's go ahead and jump over to the computer and let's talk a little bit more about the Radeon 7. All right, so we're over on Tech Power Up, and let's take a closer look at some of the specs on the Radeon 7. So jumping over here and scrolling down, we can take a look at some fun information here. So February 7th of 2019. So depending on when you're watching this, it's well past that, but I'm releasing this right now on January 17th. So we're just about a month, just under that, away from this hitting that exact 5-year mark. And this is a slick GPU. So it's a Vega 20. And if you take a look at some of your clock speeds, 1400, boost clock, 1750, peak clock, 1802, and your memory clock is 1000. But look over at that memory, 16 gigabytes. That's pretty impressive for a 5-year-old GPU. In addition to that, it's that HBM2 memory, which has you at 4096 for your memory bus. And finally, your bandwidth is 1024 gigabytes. Now, if we jump over to Hashrate.no, and I think this has really become our bread and butter and our staple as GPU miners. If you guys aren't familiar with this, brand new to GPU mining, just getting into it, welcome. Check out Hashrate.no. It's going to give you a boatload of information on most profitable coins, what is best for you to be GPU mining, as well as what algorithms to really focus on. So we're going to come over here, we're going to click GPUs in the upper left-hand corner, and there's a search bar. Now you can use all of these at the top if you're really interested, based off of revenue, what coins you're mining. So like, hey, this coin is really one you want to focus on. But for our situation right now, we're going to use the search field, and we're going to type in VII, which stands for the Radeon 7. And let's go ahead and click on it here and take a look at this, guys. We get some amazing information here. So it tells us right away, AI Power Grid is the most profitable for the Radeon 7 right now, bringing in on our revenue side about 77 cents, and all comes down to your electric rate to really determine your profit there. Moving on, Clore.AI, one of my favorite 𝐾𝐿 coins out there right now, just had a huge pump today, 66 cents per day. Moving down the list, 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿, one of my favorite play to earn cryptos. Love 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿. I have a smart node. I've been mining 𝐷𝐿𝐿𝐿 for a while. That one as well, 66 cents a day in revenue. Now, we'll jump down there. We have NiceHash 𝐾𝐿, another great avenue. Whole nother video we can get into talking about NiceHash. Game Pass, 64 cents. 𝗏𝐼, 63 cents. Friend Coin, not as familiar. Raven Coin, 57 cents. 𝐓𝐿𝐿𝐿, 56 cents. Paprika Coin, haven't heard of that one. Satox Coin. So what do all of these coins have in common? Do you see it? All of the most profitable right now on the Radeon 7, 𝐾𝐿. And 𝐾𝐿 is one of the most ASIC resistant coins out there because of that memory intensity. So we're going to take our Radeon 7 and we're going to go ahead and put it on the most profitable algorithm out there, 𝐾𝐿. All right, so completely stock. This thing is using a boatload of power. Currently right now you can see we're on Clore. We're doing 43.39 mega hash, which is awesome. But look at the watts in the software, 232. But HIVEOS's watts is a massive estimate. So let's go ahead and take a look at our watt meter that we do have set up here on this rig from the meter box. And you guys can see we're right around 330 to about 333. So we're going to say about 330 currently right now. But take away 25 watts because our rig without this GPU running uses 25 watts. So roughly we're about 305 watts stock, which is absolutely terrible. So let's get some overclock settings in place. All right, so it's been a few minutes and take a look with our overclock settings in, we've lost about 8 mega hash, but look at the watt difference from 35.21. Now our watts are at 155. At least that's what it says in the software. Taking a look at our meter box right now, we're about 225. So minusing out our rig, we're about 200. So jumping over, I created a spreadsheet, and it's no 𝐓𝐿 spreadsheet, but what I'd like to do is I'd like to test this on all the different coins out there. It's going to be real easy because most of these, as I said, are 𝐾𝐿. But what I also want to do is add in our revenue and our profit per day. And what is most important to me and what comes to me right now during a bear market is yield per day. That's really where you get into building your bags. We will be going ahead and doing a lithium. A lithium is super popular right now, and I'm trying to build my lithium bags as well. Give me a few minutes and I'll be back and we'll populate the spreadsheet. All right, guys, it's been well over an hour. We just finished up on a lithium. Let me go ahead and show you guys the results and then we can talk a little bit more about it. So we went ahead and completed all of our testing on all the different algorithms. Now, as you can imagine, your hash rate and your watts in the software and watts at the wall are going to be super, super close because our algorithm is pretty much the same. We're swapping on to the different coins, and we did swap on to a variety of different pools. So of course these are going to be a little bit skewed, but at least within that 1% margin of error. So outside of the 𝐾𝐿 algorithm, which was most of these, we then had a lithium in there, which runs on the Blake 3 algorithm there. And that's a little bit different, uses significantly less watts in the end over 𝐾𝐿. But some things to take a look at. When you keep in mind at the wall versus what's in the software, you're really talking about a big difference. And also in regards to using Hashrate.no as a basis or Bible really is not a good idea because the numbers that are on here are not really accurate. They're close, but also decently far away. So I recommend that when you guys are looking at what coin you want to mine or what's going to be the most profitable for you, do a similar test like this, because even on the same algorithm, we're seeing a lot of different results because profitability changes pretty significantly. So jumping over to the profit per day column, you can see we're ranging anywhere from -2 cents at a lithium up to 23 cents at the time of doing this for Clore. And I actually had to go back and adjust some of my numbers because things have changed so quickly over the last hour and a half to 2 hours of my testing. But let's look at yield, because I feel like yield is really going to be the most important thing that you can do with GPUs like this and during the current bear market. If you're chasing profitability per day, I feel sorry for you because you really shouldn't. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a great example of stop chasing profits, because if you look at Clore is our most profitable at 23 cents, but you're only yielding just under 5 Clore a day. And the price of these things is so close, a sudden swing or pump could really be a big difference. But take a look at things like 𝐿𝐿. Your profit per day and your profit per day is 1 cent. Bummer. But your yield per day is 2,698. And on Game Pass, 462. So if you're looking to build your bags, don't go chasing the most profitable coin, because take a look. The most profitable coin is getting us under 5 coins of, let's say Clore in this situation, versus if you take a closer look at yield, that's really where you want to be. Now, I can't sit here and bash Hashrate.no. It's a great platform. I'm very, very happy with it. It's helped me a ton with overclock settings and kind of taking a look at the current market, where things sit with some of my GPUs. But what I really love to see here, and maybe you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, and maybe I just haven't even come across it, is you see this drop down here? I'd love to see an option for yield that has profit, revenue, ROI, but where's yield? Because in a bear market, yield is most important. So it's about 80 degrees right now currently in my office, and this one card alone, mining on 𝐾𝐿 over the last 2 hours, testing everything out, has really heated up this room. Great for the winter currently right now when it feels like -2 outside. So old GPU, 5 years old, got it for $250, right now runs for right around almost $500 in January of 2024. Would I recommend it? Hell yeah, I would. This is a fantastic card. Would I recommend mining Clore or AI Power Grid or 𝗏𝑟𝑖 on it? No, probably not. But I definitely will be chasing yield with this GPU and using this to stack my bags. Well, guys, that's going to wrap things up for today. Thanks for joining me.
You know quantum computers, you know blockchain, but do you know both together? Dynex was the first platform to create a neuromorphic supercomputing blockchain-based algorithm which solves real-world problems. And the best part? Anyone can post a job, whether a company from the Global 2000, a machine learning job, or fintech and pharmaceutical. And if you don't want to program it yourself, get an expert directly at the marketplace. Run the job and be impressed by the fast result.